My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Is he saying anything that he has just discovered and didn't know from the past? Or it is because now he is overwhelmed and there's nowhere to hide anymore? That is why he's patronizing everybody. And in any case, if you know them, why are they still doing it? Come on, we shouldn't do this to ourselves. Who are those CSOs that did that? I want their names. I want to have a conversation with them. That the president has come to admit something that all of us have always known and said it here severally. Even when we were in government, I said it, that then the opposition members were even involved in Galamsey. I said it on this your show, even when we were in government. He knew it. But in opposition, what was his solution? What was his proposal? Has he, at the time he was making this point, referenced the specific things he said he would do in the fight against Galamsey? Since he came to office, only one thing has been done anew since they took office. One. Nothing else they have done since they took office in the fight against Galamsey. They've done only one thing. The repeal of the LI. That's the only thing. Every other thing happening in the fight against Galamsey was in existence. That's a 7
NIMOS was not in existence.
It was there. Operation Vanguard was running. Go to your portal. Even on the 3rd of January, people were arrested in the forest by military people. I understand that, but NIMOS is a new creation. No, it's not. It's not. It's the same military people in the forest fighting Galamsey. What are you talking about? Is it not the name change? Has the army been disbanded and a new one formed? So what are you talking about? Please, Galamsey is a very serious business. This is not what they promised us. Pick their manifesto. They were specific on the things they would do. The question is, Mr. President, whilst you are acknowledging what we've always known and told you to your face, what have you done about it? Sitting here, if I know that the beef that I left in my fridge last night was stolen by my son, I won't come and complain to my neighbor. I will deal with my son and make sure that tomorrow the beef is not stolen, because it's the easiest thing to solve. So why are we still experiencing?
The Attorney General referenced or referred the NDC party, executives to Iyoko to be dealt with.
This is the first time we've seen that. In the previous government, wherein people in government not referenced, for which reason, even though they were referenced, it was used against the government. This is the first time. This is the first time. And it's been over a year. Have you heard anything on that?
Which people are you referring to in the previous government?
Because in the previous government,
we know Akonta mining, and the president sought to, clean it up.
It's not sought to. He was referenced for investigation. He was. He was. It's not sought to. He was. In fact, let me remind you, go and look at Abuja Napon's letter on Akonta mining, where he emphatically acknowledged that there are certain areas that Akonta mining was having some activities whatsoever it says that they had not given him some licenses for. So what are you talking about?
But the president cleared him on that.
He declared him on what?
He said Akonta mining was not doing...
No, he said as far as he knows, Akonta mining is a licensed mining firm. Is that not the fact?
No, he said he was not involved in that. Let's get it. This is that one there.
But have you caught Akonta mining involved in Galamsey?
He absorbed.
Have you, at the moment, identified Akonta mining involved in?
But what the president said then contradicted what the minister...
The evidence and the admissions by Abuja Napo himself.
Please.
And we have put it before. We petition the CID and the IG. What has been done?
Your words are not facts.
So why didn't you take it up? Why didn't you interrogate the facts?
Mr. President,
you didn't do anything about it.
So those petitions,
Mr. President,
those petitions have now led to...
You are absolutely wrong.
Have now led to be facing trial.
Abanga and the NDC national executives have been referred by the Attorney General to Iyoko. Doesn't mean they are involved in Galamsey.
Oh no, there were facts.
No, please.
There were clear facts.
Which clear?
There were clear facts. The facts that were put.
The facts.
I'm not establishing crime. We reported crime. We asked for prosecution. What did you do about it? Did you ask for prosecution?
Has anybody been prosecuted in this government?
Of course. Who? What do you mean?
Any NDC person.
No. We are talking about Akonta.
Please.
I'm not discussing this.
Prosecution is not conviction.
I'm not discussing. I'm not discussing what NDC. We're just referring to Akonta mining. And we are making a submission because as a coalition, we make a petition.
Okay.
You have more work to do now. You have more work to do as a coalition than in the past. You've taken my time. Don't interrupt again. The point I'm making is that this admission by the president has always been known by everybody. The fact that you come and tell us, I know my people are involved, so we should clap for you for what? What have you done? What are you talking about? So the president says he knows that his people are involved. So it means what? Then the president is what? He's a Holy Ghost. Isn't that even easier for you to fix when you know the people? You've been in office for close to 14 months. Galamsey has escalated like never seen before. You are buying the gold from the same Galamseyers. You have provided a formal platform for the purchase of gold. The president himself said that about 60% or so of the gold that we are exporting are coming from small-scale miners. Minerals Commission has told us that close to 80% of small-scale mining activities are illegal mining. Go to TikTok. I've said this severally. We have close to 1.5 million followers on Galamsey TV. They protest against the government for reducing their price of gold that they buy from them. And the government responds by giving them bonuses. Listen, we can't play the ostrich in this matter. This government wrote on two major things to come to office. Galamsey was one. 2 weeks to elections. Senor Hosi and his friends were on the necks of Akufo-Addo to declare a state of emergency. This government benefited from Galamsey than everybody. You are in office. You're coming to tell us what? We should clap for you for knowing who was involved in Galamsey. Mr. President, spare us anything on Akufo-Addo. He's gone. He's done his bit. He's gone. Leave him alone. Deal with your guys, the people that you trusted. You should be having broken hearts right now. You should be disappointed today, knowing very well that you swore on your life that the Akufo-Addo and his people were involved in Galamsey, and that when they leave office, you are going to get into office a bunch of people who will do what your heart desires, and they are failing you. You should be crying.
I've cried already. We're talking about this. We are talking about the situation where we are talking about a situation where a very senior minister, Professor Frimpong Boateng, makes these disclosures about people in government who are complicit, and the government does practically nothing.
Perfect. Awesome. Hold it there. Perfect. You see the hypocrisy in all the people who are praising the president. When Frimpong Boateng made that disclosure, nobody said that, oh, at least somebody in government, a senior member in government has acknowledged.
I did.
Oh,
government
oh,
did. I did.
I beg you.
And we celebrate him today.
Oh, when you do that, you make me.
The problem was that Frimpong Boateng was attacked by you
government.
And that became the focus.
I beg you. Let me flow. So he came to make this disclosure, and that became the basis for you.
Yes.
To constantly use that as a reason to attack the government of being complicit in Galamsey. And you are telling me that the president comes to admit and he's not complicit. And I should babysit him and pat his back. Please, that will not happen. But the fact of the matter is that what Frimpong Manso said is even less of a worry than what the president has said, because this is coming from the president of the Republic of Ghana. The president himself, the last man standing, actually admits that his own people are involved in Galamsey. Hey, you should be running to the Jubilee House and looking for him and say, Mr. President, by tomorrow.
So you see something wrong with this.
No.
But you see practically absolutely nothing wrong with the president whose chairman, party regional chairman, has been indicted by the EPA working together with the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
In his time.
And then the president comes to say that the guy is not involved.
In order for you not to digress this conversation today. Yes. In order for you not to digress, hold on. In order for you not to digress this conversation today, there is everything wrong with that. Let's move on. Okay. Now we are here. Based on that, your disappointment in the former president's responses, you trusted with your life that you are going to get in these guys a group of persons who will come and fix it. They are doing worse. Now let me tell you where the worst is. The worst is that at least in the past, when they were robbing the state and killing out the future of our children, they had no formal platform to sell. This government is actually enabling Galamsey.
No.
When they open up, I don't like that when you say no.
That is not
what do you know that I don't know? What do I know?
But you know that's sort of a broad sweeping statement.
Please.
Because the gold board denies that it is buying gold from Galamsey.
It's a lie.
It's buying Galamsey gold.
Oh, can I please listen? Senor Hosi, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Don't let me make this point and you say it is not true. Listen, it is true. Which of the gold that the gold board has bought?
Yeah.
That he can tell where it is coming from. Apart from the ones that he's buying from the multinationals.
It can't.
So what are you talking about then?
Okay,
guys,
thank you.
Don't let us know. Oh, give me a signal, then I'll land.
You've done almost 10 minutes.
So signal me, then
nobody's going to get 10 minutes.
10 seconds and I land.
Okay.
I can't just be truncated like that. So nobody should ever say that it is a lie that the government is buying from the Galamseyers. It's a matter of fact. They say they are trying to work at it, but they haven't fixed it yet. The crux of the matter is that even the barest minimum of the promises the president made in his own manifesto, somewhere within his 120-day social contract, even those ones, he hasn't been able to fulfill them. Now that he knows, he had admitted finally that he knows those involved in the Galamsey, at least those outside his cabinet and his party he cannot control. But the ones within his party, he should go to Akwatia. They even want to mine in Akwatia Secondary School. They want to mine in the school, and the president knows who it is.
Really?
Yes. Go to Akokeri College. In the middle of the school, they are mining. Kwabin Secondary School, right in the school, they are mining. Abomosu STEM, right behind the dining hall, they are mining. Never before in the history of this country.
No, that's on you.
Never before in the history of this country, since 2010, that this illegal criminal mining started, have we seen such level of devastation at this height going on in this country?
Yes. Oh yeah, and as Senor was saying to say, oh, something beside that's a hypocrite, hypocrite. The one who so see a yiso, a kufu, the be an amu discuss Galamsey, and ne, my guy, didn't know more yes at you.
Dennis is right? Is he not? That the level at which groups, organizations like the one that you and I belong to,
so much good like this,
used to almost on a daily basis insist that Galamsey must stop. It's not being done anymore. Is it because there is some confidence that is being discovered in NIMOS? Because beyond NIMOS, nothing else is being done. Of course, Gold Board has a new law that it is working with, which includes traceability. They haven't done that yet. They are now working on the traceability to be able to cure the Galamsey gold.
Okay, so we lose the conversation when we mix the trading of the gold with the externalities, which we will call in economic terms, around the production of gold. Whether there's a gold board or there's no gold board, gold mined by Galamsey will be sold. All right? So gold board is just a trading thing, just to make sure at a worst case scenario, even if we experience externalities, we should be able to optimize the benefits through the trade. So there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing on the policy side. No, that's not it. I mean,
You're worried about the interruption.
Miracles. No, I'm not worried about the interruption. I think the good board construct was actually built on the policy initiated by the person you speak for, and it is a policy that would have to be maintained irrespective of who is going to be there. So it's not a problem. The problem has to do with the devastation from the production, the externalities there. Don't worry. I'm saying we have to separate the gold.
They are buying the gold from.
It doesn't matter. If today I would not allow gold made by Galamsey to just find its way out of this country to benefit some foreigners, and we as a country cannot even at a minimum optimize the monetary policy related benefits. That is not on. But let's carry on.
I'm Robert wants to sell TV and he sells to you. And once you are giving him...
Senor, go on. It's your turn. We have very limited time.
Yes. Okay, very well. So separate the conversation. What Gold Board has done, that construct is a necessary construct.
Absolutely.
It has helped create a balance in the loss. Absolutely. Otherwise, we'll be losing on two fronts: externalities on our environment, externalities on our legal framework and our law enforcement, and also having externalities on our trade. That is a no-no. So Gold Board, I commend Sami Jeffrey and his people. That's a policy that must be sustained, and that must continue. Now, the key issue on the production side, it is not the case that we've gone quiet. I think that right in this studio, the government felt maybe one of its biggest hits right from us. And that's when the presidency actually even called me and told us we were going to have, we should hold our guns. They were going to meet us, and they called this CSO thing in Jubilee House. We thought we were going to have a very strong platform where we're going to engage and come up with a structured plan on how to deal with this. We don't think we got the best out of that particular engagement, but we had great engagement from the part of the Lands Minister, Ama Kofi-Boa. He's been actively engaging us, working with us, and I think that's been productive. Have we made so much progress? I don't think we made adequate progress, because there's a reality that for some of us, we are now facing. There's no way when you look at those numbers today, at that 68%, and of gold holding this economy. You look at the real socioeconomic issues around employment. If the boys working in that pit are the same kind of boys who are willing to still cross the desert, irrespective of whether Libyans will shoot them or not shoot them, will continue. People earning 3,000 cedis a week going to give up that thing. They will fight with any of our military forces. And the president was dead right when he spoke about how the communities themselves are rising against the government in this fight. So there's a need for us to relook the strategy. We went past a point of no return under the former government. We missed the opportunity. But again, they will also argue the constraints of their politics. Today, we still have those constraints, and it's even worse. So we have to come up with a different strategy going forward. Something very difficult.
When we say worse,
yes.
What is the data we are using?
Worse.
He has spoken about its worse. You also said it's worse.
I'll just use as a rule of thumb your data you captured on the turbidity levels.
The water quality.
We ran from around 500 to what 14,500 or so, which may be 29 times the situation that we knew it. Mm-hmm. Now from 14,500, we are hitting what 94,000.
And that was when? Have you checked now?
That was I'm just saying that even if that was then, which was just maybe about October last year. Can you imagine where we are even today? So when I say that we've gotten worse, it's not.
It's true.
But if you look at it on a ratio basis, you can say the past moved quite quicker, because from 500 to this about 29 times, 14 to 94 will be maybe about what 4 times also. But please, we are not making that progress. So we have to get to the reality. Galamsey is not going anywhere.
Okay.
That is what I see. We have to find a way to correct the externalities around that. And these are my recommendations. In our little study, and I think that the Chamber of Mines is also getting to the same kind of policy position as it's important, Samson. I'm the lead Galamsey man on this table. Allow me, I beg you. This is it. Galamsey is not going anywhere. The youth will not let you go. The chiefs will not let it happen. The economy itself and government itself is struggling to want to even pay proper attention to it, because there's a counter effect. Gold production goes low. They think that we'll have a certain broader macroeconomic problem. So politicians are also being funded by all these Galamsey people across the world. So there's no good with much traction.
And then
this is the way out. It is
food.
Inside. And this is the way. This is the way out. How do we rationalize what is going on? The Galamsey activity today is giving us a yield or a recovery of about 30%. Can we use technology to rather correct their ways so that we can move to what the large-scale recovery is, which is around 85 to 95%? That recovery can fund this. People can still do their
We are getting technology to clean the water.
Yes, no, not it will help too much. It will do something, but that's not it. We need to regularize the conduct of the small-scale ASM, artisanal and small-scale mining activity. Let it be fully compliant. Support it with technology so that you as a government will get the gold you want for your economy. But at the same time, we get the people to start doing things properly. So we don't have cyanide leaching.
Thank you.
So this is technology and policy must now be brought to balance it, and we correct it and go on. But doing nothing today, Edem, it's not going to help anybody.
Yes,
the president has admitted.
At the point where
I commend the president for admitting and accountability is a first step towards correction.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Something.
It's a critical step, bro.
Something. I think that is important for all of us to understand. No, Dennis, we are talking about two leaders. Two leaders are on the table.
No, 2 leaders are not on the table.
President John Dramani Mahama.
No, you are wrong.
Who has admitted
and I commend
there are some people within.
It is good.
His own politics.
It is a start.
I know that
I won't lie you.
There's also former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who for 8 years, as president of this republic, even when video evidence was submitted to him with some of his officials' involvement in Galamsey, he cleared them. And so the difference is wide.
So you are aware.
The difference is wide.
You know,
today, Dennis,
he didn't know. You know, but he still can't fix.
The MPP does not have the moral right to even comment on Galamsey, because we saw how devastating the Galamsey operations were under your government.
Step out and say
now, the question is that the president,
beyond admitting that his people were involved, the big question we should ask is, what has this government done in the fight against Galamsey? In our campaign, one of the major promises we made was to repeal the LI. That has been done. You need to applaud us for it. Again, in our campaign, we promised
repealed under pressure.
Whether they were pressure or no.
You amended the pressure from us.
It is your duty that when the politician makes a promise, you remind us, you give us the pressure to implement. So whether it was under pressure or not, the basic fact is that we have repealed it.
Pressure on you.
That's true. Senor, I beg you, hold on.
As we speak,
Senor, you have done well today. So let's end on that.
As we speak, we promise to introduce alternative livelihood for young people engaged in
Galamsey. People are also complaining about your interjections.
I was following my president.
Apart from that, as we speak, 278 small-scale mining licenses have been revoked for irregularities. And these are some of the things that contributed. But you see, something I understand the NPP. Whenever Galamsey is mentioned, they become jittery. And for now, all that they are trying to do is to bring in gold board. But let me state on this platform that gold board does not buy gold from Galamseyers. And that fact must be known. On many occasions, even in parliament, almost all committees, from public accounts, economy and budget, anytime gold board officials and BOG officials appear, the NPP puts this question. The right answers are provided, but they ignore the answers, jump on platforms like Dennis.
Because we don't have time. We can interrogate that later. We can interrogate that later, whether or not some of the gold they buy is coming from.
The point must be made. That gold board does not buy gold.
They don't even know what the gold is coming from.
Thank you.
But is the gold Galamsey? That's the question.
They don't know what the gold is coming from.
When it suits you, you tell us that the whole gold board idea is Baumia's idea. When you were doing the gold board,
who has spoken against gold board right now? Has anybody spoken against gold board?
No, were you buying gold from Galamsey?
No,
Thank you. Edem, thank you. Fred, briefly, and then Dr. Otu. Thank you, Edem. Dennis, thank you.
Now, Papa be casting boy, professor no panel on so. With just about 2 minutes, I agree entirely with the man. Say, na se mitidi na one na yako. Tino.
Senor has made an important point. There are 3 things that we are looking at here. And in January, we went on a field visit to Galamsey areas. And when I came back, I came to a conclusion that we cannot stop Galamsey with the current arrangements we have. And I wrote a blog, and because of time,
we cannot stop Galamsey.
We cannot stop
with the current arrangement of NIMOS.
So let me just read briefly because of time. So after our field visit, I reached a firm conclusion. State policing alone will not solve Galamsey. Why? Because enforcement itself has become part of the mining economy.
Exactly.
We were repeatedly told that many security officers use operations as opportunities for extortion. One miner said to us, "We are no longer afraid. We only prepare so that when they come, they take the money and go."
That's not new.
During the community meeting, a miner received a call. The people have come, he was told. He stood up and said, "I'm going to sort them out and return." Even more disturbing, we were told that individuals who are not part of official task forces now visit sites to collect something small for the road. Some have proposed a state of emergency in mining areas. Perhaps it could help. But based on what we saw, it may simply expand the same rent-seeking networks. Galamsey is not just an enforcement failure, it is a governance failure. Until corruption, incentives, and neglect are confronted, no number of soldiers will win the war.
Thank you.
Finally, the community leaders gave us a message to take along to Accra. They said, "Tell them in Accra, they only make noise on radio and TV. No one can stop Galamsey."
The final one is illegal mining. Illegal mining has eaten into the fabric of our society. And I must say that it is not only a menace to our society, but it has involved a circle of traditional rulers political party appointees and everything. And so even when one party changes, those who were running some operation who were to one party will go to the next party and say, oh, now that you have come and take over this operation and let's share, and we too will be getting small. This is what we're doing. And so I don't kid myself that we don't have our own people involved. And the work of the 9 mosques is not easy. They go to a community and the chiefs, the youth, and everybody come out and resist them. And so I didn't kid myself that we will be able to win that fight overnight.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Na nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.